On March 2, 2022, the Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, openly declared that if World War III is about to happen, it will involve nuclear weapons and it would be very devastating. As chilling as it sounds initially, many are already starting to believe that the US military could give a befitting reply to the massive Russian military, and could also end World War III from spreading its chaos all over the world. Well, to make it easier for you to find out who would win, let's take a look at the insane military comparison of the US and Russia in a detailed manner. Don't forget to watch till the end, because we'll also discuss the secret operation that both countries do not want to let each other know about. Military expenditure. In 2019, the US spent around $649 billion on its military, which is more than 3 times the net worth of Elon Musk, standing at $212 billion. This means that the richest man on Earth will lose all his money and go into heavy debt if he decides to spend his money on buying US military equipment in 1 year. Whereas in 2020, Russia only spent $61.7 billion in its defense sector. However, does this mean that Russia's low spending on military equipment could become an advantage for the US? Well, let's not jump to a conclusion and find out more about their dangerous weapons. Air Force equipment. Russia. The Air Force of a country is always considered their most prized possession. And if we talk about the Russian Air Force, they have 1,900 aircrafts of various categories that are strongly capable of hitting the enemy from hundreds of kilometers away. Some of their finest aircraft include Sukhoi Su-72, a 5th-generation fighter plane that is smart enough to not get caught in radars and can easily make dangerous twists and turns by hitting the target without a mistake. As of 2021, the Russian military has only 3 of them, hiding in the basement to be used when an emergency arrives. Sukhoi Su-22. If you've witnessed some of these supersonic jets going viral on YouTube, then it was probably none other than the Sukhoi Su-22, that can travel at supersonic speed by also ensuring defeating its target. Currently, Russia has 274 of them in total. Tupolev Tu-160. Considered the largest and heaviest military aircraft, the Tupolev Tu is a bomber plane recently witnessed over Ukraine airspace by the civilians. With only 16 in the Russian army, these bomber planes are equipped with supersonic speed despite their heavy weight. US. Whereas the United States has an army of 3,318 combat aircraft, almost twice that of the Russian Air Force. Some of the finest combat aircraft include Lockheed AC-130 Ghost Rider. As the name suggests, the Ghost Rider is a heavily armored aircraft capable of attacking enemies from a long distance with the help of marvelous sensors and navigation systems. The aircraft is also known to have been used and caused heavy damage in the Vietnam War. Furthermore, currently the US has 47 of them in total. Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II. With 770 aircraft parked in the garage, the F-35 Lightning is considered one of the most powerful jets in the US Air Force that can not only jam the electronic signals of the enemy area, but can also destroy its enemies with precise attacks. Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit. Capable of entering areas where anti-aircraft attacks are heavily going on, the B-2 Spirit is a bomber plane that is designed to drop a nuclear bomb when the situation demands. Currently, the US has 21 of them in total. Nuclear weapons. If we talk about the most controversial weapon responsible for initiating a Twitter war between leaders of the various countries, Russia has now become the owner of the largest nuclear weapons in the world. In contrast, the US has become the 2nd largest nuclear weapons owner. To be more specific, Russia has around 6,000 nuclear weapons out of the 12,700 nuclear weapons in the world. Moreover, the US has around 5,400 weapons in total. Nuclear submarines. However, Russia is falling behind considering the number of nuclear submarines that could help them rule under the water during the war, because Russia has around 33 nuclear submarines. In contrast, the United States has around 71, which is more than double the number of submarines Russia owns. Corvette warships. But what about ruling above the water, where the warships have dominated the waters for decades, and also in Hollywood movies like Transformers and Battleship? It seems like Russia is falling in numbers, as it has around 350 warships on the water. At the same time, the United States has around 490 warships ready to follow the president's command. Not to forget, 90 more US warships are already underway to join hands with the rest of the 490 current warships. Secret operations. The United States is also known for conducting secret military operations with a strong military base. If you ever wonder what's hiding in the controversial Area 51, we'd like to shift your focus towards the deadliest group called the United Nations Special Operations Command. They are responsible for successfully conducting secret missions all over the world. From conducting an operation in Iraq to Afghanistan, this special operations group consists of soldiers from the Army, Navy, and Air Force, who are highly trained in handling any weapon or equipment. Surprisingly, 65,800 personnel of the US are already conducting secret operations in various countries of the world, whereas Russia has 1,000 strong special operations forces that could give a small competition to US if they ever get the opportunity to stand face to face. Space Force. As space was remaining massively unexplored, the countries decided to establish their presence in space in any way possible. Moreover, this led to the establishment of the Space Force. With the help of NASA and Elon Musk, you might be thinking that the US is quickly going to defeat Russia in Space Force. However, as per the present report, the US only has 6,434 military personnel and 77 spacecraft to handle the Space Force, whereas Russia has around 100,000 personnel ready to conduct a sparkling Star War whenever the situation arises. Helicopters. From witnessing Apache helicopters in the movies to UH-1Y Venom helicopters serving the country in every mission since 2008, the number of military helicopters in the US is more than 4 times the number of Russian military helicopters. If we talk about numbers, the US has 6,417 military helicopters, and Russia only has around 1,655 aircraft. Furthermore, after noticing the amount of loss Russian helicopters suffered in the Ukraine war, the US stands a better chance than the Russians. Tanks. If you have noticed the number of Russian tanks getting destroyed like toys in the recent Ukraine war, you might wonder that Russians could soon run out of tanks. Well, when 2,210 tanks are waiting for the command of the Russian president, it seems like Russian tanks could take years to run out of stock. Moreover, if we compare this to the United States, you'd be surprised to know that they have around 8,725 military tanks in stock. However, if US soldiers are better at handling their tanks, things could turn upside down in the battlefield against Russia. Military personnel. As the battle towards deciding which of these two countries' military is better than the other, it is surprisingly going to be more intense and complicated with the number of military personnel these countries have, because it is astonishing to notice that the US has around 1,388,100 active military personnel and 78,600 reserve force, whereas Russia has 1,014,000 active military personnel and 2 million reserve force, which makes it more difficult to decide who could actually win. So this was a sweet comparison of the US and Russian military to help you find out who could win if they ever try to fight each other. Although we have witnessed the Russian military facing severe difficulty in fighting off Ukrainian soldiers despite their massive army, who could win between the US and Russia? We are probably hoping that World War III should never happen on Earth. After noticing the amount of suffering Ukrainians face, the leaders should raise their hands to shake with each other instead of raising the gun against each other. So, what do you think about these devastating weapons? Let us know your answers in the comment section. Want to know how Elon Musk is destroying Putin? Check this video out right here. Don't forget to press that like button if you like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching.